Cold hands end winter days. They end ski days, they end lawn Nordic sessions, backpacking trips, and car camping trips when you're trying to make coffee in the morning. Cold hands suck. And I have Raynaud's, which basically means my circulation is terrible. My hands are always cold. So if a mitten doesn't actually work, I know immediately. I've been wearing this same pair of mittens for almost 10 years. So are these actually the warmest mittens for winter? I've tested outdoor gear professionally for about 15 years now. I ski 50 to 60 days per season, whether it's downhill, Nordic, backcountry, or uphill. I backpack above tree line. I car camp in the winter. I bike pack in shoulder season. Basically, my hands are outside a lot. And I test a lot of mittens and gloves every year. New models, heated ones, super insulated ones, lightweight touring gloves, you name it, I've tried it all. But I keep coming back to these, the Hestra Fall Line Mittens. Not because they're trendy, not because they're new, because they're not, but because they just work. So let's be real. Are these the absolute warmest mittens on the planet? No. If you want pure bomb-proof warmth and don't care about dexterity, something like the Hestra Patrol Gauntlet mittens, these ones, are going to be warmer. But here's the thing. Mittens are warm, gloves are agile. Finding a mitten that's actually warm and still lets you function with your digits, that's rare. The Hestra Fall Lines use G-Loft insulation in the back of the hand and the thumb, where you lose heat the fastest. Plus, they have this removable brushed fleece liner. You can take this out, wash it, reloft it, and bring back that warmth. I do this many times each season. These mittens are insanely warm for how much dexterity they give you. I can adjust the BOA dial on my ski boots. I can turn the knobs on a camp stove, all while leaving my mittens on. I can unzip things. I can live my life. And that balance is why I grab the fall lines. Because what good is a really, really warm mitten if you have to take them off all the time just to use your hands? So you can see I have a couple pair of fall lines. I have this new color that came out this year. It's cerise pink, which I love. I have this color, which is like a champagne red color. Awesome. But I also have this pair here. And you could tell by looking at them that I've had them for a long time. I've had this pair for nearly 10 years, and I get at least 50 days per season. That's over 500 days of use. Yes, they look worn, but they're not compromised. There's no blown seams, no insulation collapse, no failure points. They don't leak. They still work after a decade. The palm of the hand is cowhide, this here, and leather is never going to be fully waterproof, but fully waterproof leather is also stiff and miserable to wear. Super soft leather wool is really, really comfortable, but it absorbs water. So these hit the sweet spot. They're naturally water resistant, but they're still flexible. I've never had these soak through, even skiing for 6+ hours a day in nuking heavy snow. My daughter has a pair and she crawls around in the snow all the time because she's only 8 years old. And yeah, you'll see moisture kind of start to darken the leather, but it never totally soaks through. So, bottom line, you cannot beat 10 years of heavy use. That is unreal. So, let's talk waterproofing and care because, like I said, these aren't fully waterproof, and that does come into play. The fall line mittens aren't going to be for someone digging with their mittens through the snow for hours straight. They'll wet out. So if that's you, look for a fully waterproof synthetic mitten. But the fall line mittens are about balance, warmth, dexterity, and comfort. They come with this leather balm. You get one tube with every pair that you purchase. And I treat my mittens maybe once per year. I should probably do it more often. But it keeps the leather moisturized so it doesn't crack or break, and it helps maintain water resistance. It's easy and it really helps these mittens last a lot longer, which I love because that means we're not chucking one more thing into a landfill. One other thing to note is sizing. You're probably used to seeing mittens or gloves where you purchase a size small or an extra large or whatever. Not on these. You're not going to get that kind of sizing here. They run in numerical sizing and come in both men's and women's version, which means you're going to get a more precise fit, which will keep you warmer. I think they run true to size, but you should measure your hand with their sizing chart. For reference, I wear a size 7, and I have probably average hands for a 5'5" woman, maybe slightly on the smaller side. Bum, bum, bum. Let's talk trade-off because everything good always comes with a trade-off. That's just the reality. And of course, with these fall lines, it's going to be the price. They cost $190, which is not cheap, especially considering they are not heated mittens. But that price tag comes from the fact they're using premium materials. And like I said, I've worn this white pair here for 10 years, 50 days per season on the light side, which is minimally 500 days. Probably more, honestly. So if you break that down, that comes out to about 38 cents per use. And honestly, it's probably closer to a quarter. 25 cents per adventure to keep my hands warm. What a deal. That's honestly cheaper than replacing a pair of budget or mid range mittens every 2 winters. And again, it keeps all that junk out of a landfill. So here's my final thoughts on the Hestra Fall Line Mittens. For someone with Raynaud's who is outside constantly, lives in the Colorado Rocky Mountains, and even once quit skiing because I was so sick of being cold, these are the warmest mittens I've found that still let me function and play outside like I want to. If your hands run hot, you may not need them. But if you're always cold and you actually want to use your hands in the winter, the Fall Line Mittens are going to be very hard to beat.